Welcome to Break the Rock, talking Hawkeyes, Huskers, and the Big Ten. Proudly presented by Prairie Navigator, your boots-on-the-ground partner for digital marketing and facilities upkeep in eastern Nebraska and western Iowa. Here's your host, Burley Hawk 74.
Howdy, folks. Burley Hawk 74 here, back in the studio after a wild weekend of football. I've got my old Des Moines North High letter jacket on. My boys, the Polar Bears, had a tough one against the East Scarlet, losing 10-2. Man, I remember those games back in the 60s. They were always a war. No matter the score, you know those kids left it all on the field. That's what matters. Up next for North is Des Moines Roosevelt, another bitter rival. Let's get back on track and rough the Riders, okay? Now let's break the rock and get into our two favorite teams and the rest of the Big Ten. The Iowa Hawkeyes got the win against Albany, but the offense sure looked like a work in progress. Freshman running back Xavier Williams looked like a stud, and that's a great sign for the future. But the passing game was rough around the edges. On Saturday, the Hawks head to Ames for the Cy-Hawk rivalry game against Iowa State. The Cyclones are really good. This is a major test for quarterback Mark Gronowski. He's got to prove he can get the ball downfield and hit his receivers. I'm going with a bold prediction. Iowa's defense will hold strong, but the offense will do just enough to squeak by. My prediction, Iowa 17, Iowa State 14. The Nebraska Cornhuskers opened with a solid win against Cincinnati. The offense looked more dynamic than what we've seen in recent years, and the defense got the job done when it mattered most. This week, they get a home game against the Akron Zips at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. This is a game where the offense can really build some confidence and momentum. I'm expecting a big day from Dylan Raiola and the running backs. They'll have a chance to work on some things and get ready for a tough Big Ten slate. My prediction, Nebraska 45, Akron 10. Around the Big Ten. In a defensive struggle, the Texas Longhorns went into the horseshoe and gave Ohio State everything they could handle, but the Buckeyes held strong, winning 14-7. This was the game of the week, and it lived up to the hype. Next up for the Buckeyes is Grambling, and Ohio State will win that one. The new Big Ten teams from the West Coast also came out swinging. Oregon dominated Montana State 59-13, and Washington beat Colorado State 38-21. Oregon is on the road this week at Oklahoma State. The Ducks will win again. And Washington will handle UC Davis. USC looked powerful with a 73-13 win against Missouri State. The Trojans will beat Georgia Southern this week. Utah absolutely dismantled UCLA 43-10 in a show of pure defensive power. That game will be on my mind for a while. The Bruins will rebound this week against UNLV. Here's the rest of the league. Illinois started strong with a decisive 52-3 victory over Western Illinois. They now head to Duke for their Week 2 matchup. I predict the Illini will continue their winning ways. Indiana defeated Old Dominion 27-14 and will stay home to face Kennesaw State. The Hoosiers should have another successful outing and win this game. Maryland had a great start, routing Florida Atlantic 39-7. They'll host Northern Illinois in Week 2 and should come away with a victory. Michigan earned a solid 34-17 win against New Mexico. However, they face a formidable opponent in Week 2, traveling to face the Oklahoma Sooners. This will be a tough battle, and I predict Oklahoma will come out on top. Michigan State defeated Western Michigan 23-6 and will now face Boston College at home. I predict the Spartans will win this game. Minnesota had a 23-10 win over Buffalo. The Gophers are at home in Week 2 to play Northwestern State, and I predict they'll secure a comfortable win. Northwestern struggled in their opener, losing 23-3 to Tulane. They'll look to turn things around at home against Western Illinois, and I predict they will get their first win of the season. Penn State had a commanding 46-11 victory over Nevada. They'll play FIU at home in Week 2 and should easily win. Purdue shut out Ball State 31-0. The Boilermakers are at home against Southern Illinois in Week 2, and I predict they'll win. Rutgers earned a close 34-31 win against Ohio. They will host Miami of Ohio in Week 2, and I predict the Scarlet Knights will win. Wisconsin started their season with a 17-0 shutout victory over Miami of Ohio. They will host Middle Tennessee State in Week 2, and I predict the Badgers will continue their winning streak. That's it for Break the Rock this week. It is Cyhawk Week, and I am pumped, as always. My heart beats black and gold. So my prediction might be more wishful thinking than rationality. That's okay. The Cyhawk game is always fun. Enjoy yourselves, hug your families, and go Hawks. Go Big Red.
You've been listening to Break the Rock, talking Hawkeyes, Huskers, and the Big Ten. Proudly presented by Prairie Navigator, your boots-on-the-ground partner for digital marketing and facilities upkeep in eastern Nebraska and western Iowa. Go to prairienavigator.com.